to Foxborough's Conservation Commission meeting on July 27th, 2026 in the Gala Meeting Room, Town Hall. This meeting will be broadcast live and recorded by Foxborough Cable Access. With that, I'll open the meeting. Do we have any public comments at this time? We don't have any minutes.
We thought we could do the Eagle Scout. We thought we could do the Eagle Scout while we're waiting for 7:05.
Okay. Would you like to come up? Hey, good evening.
Hi, Eric.
Good.
Kalen Jackson, and my plan for my Eagle Scout project was to build bat boxes on the lake property.
Okay.
That kind of when you come in, that's on the left, I believe.
Okay, there's two fields there.
It's the one, I think it's not the one with like the building, right when you come in.
Yeah.
It's a little bit up the hill. It's where that bridge, you know where the bridge they recently had? for that
Okay.
Eagle Scout project?
Yep.
It's the one that connects to that.
Oh, okay.
that
All right.
field area.
Yep. And where?
Chairman, the mic is dead. He has to go to the podium. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Can-
Turn the mic on.
okay. Could you, yes.
That's unusual.
Okay, start all over.
All right. My name is Kalen Jackson, and for my Eagle Scout project, I was wanting to build bat boxes on the lane property around the field up the hill once you come in.
All right. And could you tell us some of the advantages or of the bat boxes?
The bat boxes are mostly a warmer climate, like summer, fall, spring time habitat for the bats, which is good because recently habitat loss has been a big problem for them. They don't have a lot of places to go and roost at night, and it just kind of makes it easier for them to eventually get back in that area, and then eventually they can make their own nests and habitats. But it's like a good booster for them to get back into the area where they were kind of kicked out of by habitat loss.
Okay, and how do you install them and,
So we had two options. The easier of the two would be to put them in trees that get good sunlight, which is kind of why we were looking for that field, because it's got a lot of trees that are kind of on the outside and they get shined on most of the day. The other option is a little more difficult and it involves poles, but we were hoping to not have to do that because then we'd have to dig and that would be a whole different thing. So the goal for right now is trees. They would be around 14 feet up, so people aren't going to be bothered by them.
okay,
And they would just they can get bolted in, they can get wrapped around and secured. It can happen whichever way is most convenient for you guys.
okay.
Keelan, could you tell us why we want bats?
They're pretty good for bug control. I've noticed as someone like my scout trip used to camp out there all the time, and we used to see bats a lot. And then recently, when I've gone down there, I've noticed there's been a lot more bugs and a lot less bats. And they're not like pesticides where they won't get rid of the bugs forever, but they can reduce it, and then they can kind of like balance out the ecosystem a little more.
And,
Are you going to build the boxes yourself, or are you going to buy them pre-made, or how's that going to work?
We are going to build them ourselves. We're going to buy all the wood, and we're going to try and the goal, hopefully what I was looking at, is they're not all going to be exactly the same. We're going to pick specific spots later on in the process and kind of build them all so we're not sticking the same one on each tree, because they're not all the trees are the same. So we're going to custom build them to each tree to make sure they're the right dimensions.
How many would be installed?
Anywhere we could do from, my lowest was I wanted to do at least 5, but we could do, time permitting, up to 10.
Is there a time of the year which makes most sense to install these?
I mean, so I also have to get approval from the Scout Council, which would happen in August, so we could start by September. It doesn't really matter. It might be easier to do it in the fall because then the leaves are not as much of an issue in the way if you have to be super high up. But it doesn't necessarily matter that much. It can happen whenever.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah. Are these going to be, or roughly how large are they? And are they going to be stand out, or are they going to be more subtle? Or
Well, they're mostly for the bats to be in at nighttime. So they have to be painted black because that's the best color to absorb the sunlight and heat them up during the day. They are pretty tall, but the width can depend on the tree they're going on, how many bats you want to keep in each one. But the general height is usually they're 2 feet tall, and then somewhere around, it can be 14 inches, it can be less, it can be like 11 wide.
And how many bats per box do you hope to?
That depends on the size, like I said, but they can get pretty cramped in there. They don't mind, it seems like, from what I've seen. So I've seen ones of that size can have like up to like 12 in a one, sometimes more.
Oh, good.
Is there a special kind of wood that you need for this project?
It doesn't necessarily need to be like a special bat box designed wood. It just needs to be like the kind of wood that you would have used for that bridge, just something that can handle being rained on, snowed on sometimes. Designed for outside construction.
Okay.
well, this project isn't going to affect any wetlands or buffer zones, so nothing to vote on, but just wanted to invite Keelan in to discuss the project and tell us more about it. So,
Sounds like a good project to
yeah,
me.
it sounds great to me too.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Keelan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we need to vote on that, just to?
I think you need to vote that you you agree to allow him to put these in on conservation property. So he can bring that to his troop.
Yeah, I get signatures. I have a packet right here that I have to get signed, but that can happen after.
Yeah, well,
There
we
doesn't-
can make a motion, and just so it'll be in the minutes if you ever have to refer back to it. So if you guys want to do that.
Okay. Somebody want to make the motion? Everybody speak up at once.
Make a motion to allow for bat boxes to be installed at the land property,
Do you want to say up to 10?
up to 10? Is that
Yeah, that
what
sounds
you're
good.
planning? Okay,
At least 5.
Okay.
up to 10, at least 5.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you very much.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Being 7:05, we have Nepenthe. You want to read the?
Pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, July 27th, 2026 at 7:05 p.m. in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom, on a notice of intent filed by David and Christina Baker for the construction of an addition to a single-family home along with an updated septic system at 36 Neponset Heights Avenue, Assessors Map 44, Parcel 13. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a wetland resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office at Town Hall. This notice can also be found on the Massachusetts Newspaper Publishers Association, MNPA, website at masspublicnotices.org.
Thank you. Mr. Gray.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. For the record, my name is Cameron Gray. I'm with Bay Colony Group here on behalf of our client, David Baker, for our project at 36 Neponset Heights Ave. If I could share my screen, I'll put up the plans that everyone's looking at. There you go. Sorry, I'm kind of in the way, but
Okay, now is the podium movable, or is,
We're not, I don't think we can move, can we move the podium? Can we move the microphone?
okay.
Can the microphone move to the table?
You're
Okay.
blocking our view, that.
all right. So 36 Neponset Height Ave is located on the western side of Neponset Height Ave. It's located at the end of the road when you access it from Kersey. So this property has been previously developed and currently contains an existing single-family home, along with the associated driveway, lawn areas, and shed. So there's a border vegetated wetland located to the south of the site, right in here. And it's on the banks of the Neponset Reservoir, located to the west over here. Those wetland flags were flagged by the Park Corporation, and they're located by this firm in an on-the-ground survey. So the project involves the installation of a Title V compliant septic system, as well as a construction of an addition. So I got the building permit plan up right now, so I'll just start there. So we're proposing the construction of an addition on the southern portion of the existing home. The addition will be approximately 1,060 square feet, and it's taking place within the buffer zone, but it should be noted that this area is currently driveway as well as existing yard. The home will be located approximately 34 feet from the inland bank. This site will be serviced by the proposed Title V septic system. I'll shift up to the plan.
I know it's not our purview, but is it a fast system?
Yep, so I'll get into that for you guys.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, so currently this site is serviced by a cesspool. So we're proposing the construction of a Title V compliant septic system, and due to its proximity to the wetlands as well as the inland bank, we're proposing a fast system. So due to the proximity of these resource areas, this entire lot is basically within the 100-foot buffer zone. There's a small corner up in the northeast there where I'm out of it, so a small portion of the septic system will lie out of the buffer zone. So due to the result of the construction of this system, we'll be disturbing approximately 2,300 square feet, but that's a temporary buffer zone alteration. Once we're done completing and installing this system, we'll just go back to yard as it currently is. So the septic tank will sit about 81 feet from the inland bank at its closest point, and the leaching field will be approximately 78 feet from the inland bank at its closest point. So due to the proximity to the reservoir, we have a very high water table here, and due to the existing size of the lot and location of the home, we required numerous variances from the Board of Health regulations as well as Title V. So we brought that before the Board of Health a couple weeks ago, and they approved all necessary variances for us to construct this system. So, as I stated earlier, this will be constructed in two phases, essentially. First being the septic system installed, and then after that, the addition will be put on. So we're proposing erosion control for the septic system. You can see the red line there. And then when we do the addition, I show additional erosion control going, it's down in the southwestern portion to prevent it running towards the wetlands as well as the Neponset Reservoir. Access to the site will continue to be over Neponset Height Ave. And then with that, I have nothing else to add.
Okay, I was out there today and discussing it. The driveway currently extends beyond where you're going to put the addition.
Yep.
So just get rid of all of the asphalt there and grass it in.
Yep, that's no problem. So that was actually one of the comments that Craig had also.
Okay.
So I spoke with our client, and we have no problem with just eliminating all the pavement in that area. And then also Craig's other comment was regarding the existing deck out back. And I missed it on the original plan, but the building permit plan, it calls for that deck to be removed. So that deck and staircase will both be removed at the back of the existing home.
Great.
Yeah.
Craig, any?
Yeah, do you know how much increased impervious area it's adding off of the driveway? Or with the addition that's not where the existing driveway is?
So I don't have the existing number offhand in front of me, but I know the end percentage will be 34% of the total lot to be impervious.
Okay. It's like, just doing an estimation with quick math, looks like 450 square feet, maybe. Okay.
On your building permit plan, it says there's a concrete pad under the deck.
Yep.
Are they going to remove that to reduce the impervious area or
As of right now, that's proposed to stay.
the same?
Yep.
So are they planning a driveway in the future?
So the driveway will just, since the addition's sitting on top of that portion of the driveway,
Right.
it's got to be accessing the addition there. So we're not proposing any expansion.
Do you plan to send roof runoff anywhere, or just?
So that addition's got to be essentially constructed at grade, so we're not proposing to change the grade or anything like that.
Okay.
So if you're going to rebuild a new driveway, only thing on this plan is bituminous driveway, but you have no location lines in the front of the addition.
Yeah, so if you look at right in this area, you'll just see that I show just dots. So that part will have to be repaved. But also at the front of this property, I'm gonna have to be revising the edge of pavement. As you saw out there, currently that water line, it runs right down the middle of this house. So that's gonna have to be relocated, and a portion of the driveway is gonna have to come up. So rather than just repaving it, we're just proposing to leave it as a yard.
So basically, the whole front of the addition is going to be driveway and parking.
Yep. Yeah, so we're only adding a small amount of pavement in there, but if you go out on the site, as you guys saw, a majority of it is already existing there.
So that's going to increase impervious area. Or, because that's going to be basically
Plus this.
that, yeah. And
This-
there's the entranceway right there.
Are you going to have a two-car garage with the rooms above? Is that what it is?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so that system, the house currently has 3 bedrooms. I designed the system for that. The addition isn't gonna be added to any bedrooms.
Seal the tanks.
No
and everything.
bedrooms in the addition?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the inside of the building will change layouts, but the bedrooms needs to remain the same.
Entranceway. And there's the goes.
Where's the existing cesspool?
And the septic
So the
system.
existing cesspool is located at the front of the property.
It's gonna be, right?
It's located right in this area
Yeah,
here.
that's right.
I can get to the-
So he's increased a lot of the impervious area.
So the existing cesspool is basically where my tank is currently sitting now. So we're proposing to tie into the existing invert coming out of the foundation, and we'll just be putting our tank in there. It's got to feed into a pump chamber, and because of high groundwater here, we have to have our system with the minimum separation from high groundwater. So essentially, he's gonna end up with a small mound in his front yard. It's gonna be about a foot high, but it's proposed to just be grassed after.
Do you propose to do something for all that water that's going to be on the new driveway
Shedding?
shedding towards the shed? Are you going to do something to get it into the ground and keep it from becoming a slight channel to get into the wetlands?
So all that pavement currently in front of the shed is existing. He doesn't have any problems that I know of. I believe it just, based off the topography, it sheet flows off into that yard. It looks like it goes mostly towards the reservoir. We encountered really good soils out here. It's all sand.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Peter? What's that?
Yeah.
That's where they put the boat in. Yeah. Oh, this is all built, this is all retaining wall.
No, they can't put a boat in there. Got a nice one there, but. Any questions from the audience? Ready to close it?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we making a determination?
Hmm?
Negative, positive?
Oh, let's see, notice of intent. Issue an order.
Oh, we're doing it backwards.
Sure.
Okay, never mind.
Make a motion to issue an order. Approving the project. DP number 157676, 36 Neponset Heights Ave.
With standard conditions?
Standard conditions.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you.
Got the right names.
Okay, being 7:10, we have another hearing.
Pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public meeting on Monday, July 27, 2026, at 7:10 p.m. in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom, on a request for determination of applicability filed by Southeast Massachusetts Chapter New England Mountain Biking Association to allow the replacement of an existing boardwalk and relocating portions of the boardwalk to drier ground at the Sally property, Governor's Meadow, Assessors Map 151, Parcel 8, within 100 feet of a wetland resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office at Town Hall. This notice can also be found on the Massachusetts Newspapers Publishers Association, MNPA, website at www.masspublicnotices.org.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Chris Patrick. As stated, I'm here representing the New England Mountain Bike Association. You have, each of you have a packet. I didn't bring an electronic presentation tonight, so we'll work from the packet.
Okay.
I'll just open by giving a little bit of history of this particular trail. Roughly in 2004, New England Mountain Bike Association constructed 2 boardwalks to complement the third that was already there at a perennially wet area. Roughly the length of all 3 added together is roughly 76 feet of boardwalk. Fast forward to roughly 2022, and beaver activity has increased in the area, as I think many of you are aware. With it, the trail access at this location was lost almost permanently. The water has been sometimes as much as a foot deep. Submerging just top edges of the existing boardwalks that were constructed. My proposal here is to replace that with a boardwalk that would be roughly the length of the area that's perennially wet, roughly 200 feet long, 3 feet wide, and we would work to also relocate roughly 24 feet of it to a upland area, because the area does kind of dry out and get wet, even with the beaver activity. More recently, in some areas that are low-lying, it's wet right now, but the area that we scoped out for the relocation is currently dry.
The width of that, you say 3 feet?
3 feet for the bridge width, yes.
Okay, now, will an ATV can that get on there, or?
No, that's actually one of the reasons why we choose to build a
Okay.
3-foot wide bridge, 4-foot wide. An ATV can get up on. Also, the footings are in such a way that if any ATV wanted to put one tire on and go down, the footings would prevent them from doing that.
Fantastic.
The height of the bridge is such that we don't need to have railings on it. It's technically called a punch-in boardwalk because it's designed to go over across like boggy, wet, or perennially wet areas. And we will be putting the footings onto concrete blocks in areas that are the wettest to elevate that structure so that it's not sitting in the muck. The detail of a sketch of the planned bridge is on the last page of your packet. You can kind of get an idea of how we construct. We use pressure-treated lumber, ground contact for the footings, and all of its heavy dimension lumber, so 4x6 beams, 2x8 decking. And there are examples of this bridge or boardwalk style that have been constructed in this area in other towns and at the DCR. Some that have been in place for over 20 years. This construction method uses very thick lumber to last a long time. Do you have any other questions or any questions about my project?
I guess my main question, and Dave talked about it a little bit, how do you plan to get all of this in there to do the construction?
Glad you asked. So back when we constructed the two boardwalks in 2004, we worked with the DCR and gained access to the gate that's over on
Granite Street?
Granite Street. And we can get a truck almost to the top of the trail. We're still going to have to hoof a bunch of material in.
Mm-hmm.
If needed, we may use an ATV with a trailer to make that last stretch easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a larger, more utility-styled ATV with four-wheel drive, and then a trailer that can kind of steer narrow areas that we've constructed to make trail navigation of materials like this easier.
Okay, yeah, that's, we were looking at it, and that's the preferred way to get in there as far as I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, we used a yard truck last time.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
If you use that road going in, isn't there one low spot 2/3 of the way up that is wet?
We're not going to go that far in with the truck. We're going to go in, and then there's a right that we can make.
Yep.
And then we go up, and then probably right about there is where we're going to stop. We're not going to go down that trail, although we did in 2004. Things look a little different now. It's a little more grown in.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, that last stretch we will probably, we're still sorting out how exactly we'll get it in there, like whether it's the truck and then the ATV, or load the ATV out at the road and just bring it in.
Yeah.
But we've staged, projects with twice the amount of length of the bridge in much more remote areas before. So a lot of volunteers and a lot of, equipment help, and we get it in.
Good.
Great.
Is there a preferred time of year to do the installation?
We can do it actually any time of the year. I don't love to do it when everything on the ground is frozen, but just before that, when all the leaves are off the trees and there are a lot less bugs, I can attract a lot more volunteers to help. When there are a lot of deer flies and hot weather, we would probably not elect to do it this time of year. More than likely, it'll be a fall or very early spring would not be one we wouldn't want to do because it's very wet. So probably like fall is most optimal.
Can you get it organized for this fall?
Well, we're going to be fundraising for this.
Okay.
And we hope to be able to get a grant. And my expectation is very high that we'll have the funds as early as this fall. So we would probably opt to do it then.
Good.
So hey, talk to DCR at the station there?
Yeah, I have already spoken with them. I do so many projects for the DCR that I have a gate key.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Got nothing?
Make a motion.
Yep.
Make a motion to issue a negative.
No, okay,
This is an RF request for determination, right?
yeah, okay, now, did you want a
Certain.
certain condition? Craig?
I don't have any conditions to add to the
Okay,
plan, but
okay, because I know the last request for determination, we did a positive for some,
that was for the
Yeah, okay.
railroads to make
Yeah.
sure their delineation is
Okay.
correct. This
But-
is saying that it is within within the jurisdiction under the act, but it's not going to alter
okay.
or dredge or fill
So,
the wetlands.
that?
so we'll do a negative then?
Right.
Negative number two. Yeah.
Negative number 2.
Okay,
For the Sally property, Governor's Meadow, RFP.
do I hear a second?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds like it'd be a vast improvement back there.
Yeah, a lot of trail users do it very much like that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we have a continued hearing for 90 Mill Street. Mr. Gray, are you up? Yep. Okay.
All right. Okay, share my screen again. I'll put up the. All right, so just to refresh the commission, we're proposing the construction of a single-family home along with the associated driveway, septic system, and yard area. Across the street is what we believe an intermittent stream. It's been proven to be intermittent both upstream and downstream. But where we left it last time was Craig had reached out to the Mass DEP to see if that determination was acceptable. Craig had a conversation with Mass DEP earlier today. He could probably elaborate on it more than I can. But basically, they said that's not an acceptable way for us to determine that that stream's intermittent. So our position remains that that stream's intermittent due to this project being intermittent on previous determinations, both upstream and downstream. That was just based off of the available information. However, if this stream ultimately is designated perennial and the project is subject to the Riverfront Act, I reviewed the Riverfront, and I believe under regulation 10.584D3, I have it right here, I can put it up. So it just basically states that for us to fall underneath this regulation, we need to meet a specific set of standards, and that is the lot needs to be established prior to August 7th, 1996. This law was established well before, on October 10th, 1967, and it approves the construction of a single-family home, a septic system if no sewer is available, and the construction of a driveway, all of which we're proposing today. And then it goes down to have a list of regulations that we need to adhere to in order to develop the property as such. So subsection A there, we are applicable to all laws, municipal and state law. So this project adheres to Title V, adheres to zoning, it will adhere to the building code. Aside from the Riverfront Act, it will adhere to the Wetlands Protection Act. And then for B, we're proposing a layout that minimizes impacts on this lot while maximizing the extent feasible. So the grading follows the existing topography. We're trying to reduce the amount of fill out here. The limits of work have been minimum in order to construct this project while still giving this person a yard and meeting up with the existing topography. The septic system is located outside the 150 foot to comply with both local and state regulations. Based on these facts, we believe that project complies with the standard that the commission chooses to determine the stream be intermittent or perennial. I'm sure Craig has other stuff he can add, but.
Yeah, just again, last meeting, checked in with DEP because they had comments about whether or not this stream could be determined to be intermittent based off of other permits. After speaking with them, they were pretty adamant that we could not use the expired permits from previous determinations up and downstream, and that this would have to be, if to be built now, would have to follow the Riverfront Protection Act. And what Cam is bringing up is true because it is a lot recorded before 1996. It is still, construction of a single-family house is still allowed with all of those conditions being met. But something that the DEP was also adamant about was getting an alternative analysis of the site in writing, just explaining that other layouts of the site were explored with a single-family house, that it is allowed. The alternative analysis only has to be on that exact site. It doesn't have to be other locations, and it just needs to show that it's minimizing environmental impact to the maximum extent feasible. It is allowing impacts, but it's just looking into that as minimized. I think that analysis can be relatively brief compared to other larger analyses that are often needed because of this site being pre-96, and also with that it likely being an intermittent stream, but it just can't be determined that through this method. So what I'm trying to say is I agree with Cam, but I think we just need a written alternative analysis of the site, just showing that they're reducing the impacts.
Can you work on that, Cam, and get us an analysis?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem. So I feel like when we presented the original notice of intent, I kind of touched on a lot of those issues already. How we're utilizing a walkout basement here to meet the existing topography. I'm trying to limit the amount of fill that I'm bringing in on this site while also being able to construct this site according to local regulations and state bylaws. But if that's how we need to do this to move forward, is just prepare a separate memo basically saying that I did everything to the maximum extent practical. But I just wanted to be noted that we did put a lot of thought into this. This site is a unique site, definitely with a riverfront across, but it's also varying topography. If you go out here, essentially the middle of the site's a hole. So trying to position this house in order to not be bringing in massive amounts of fill into these resource areas was definitely a driving force for us.
I think you'd like a separate document itemizing, right? So,
I think you should also provide a planting plan of planting some native species that can sort of compensate for all the forested area slightly as part of this alternative in maximizing, the environmental impact that's going to occur.
Okay. Yeah, we can look into that. I mean, a lot of this runoff is going to be retaining on site, but it's going to be going towards the bottom of the site. So maybe we could work with Lauren and kind of do a small planting plan or something down at the bottom here along our limit of work, if that would appease the commission and help us work towards a resolution here.
But I also was thinking about the slopes, some of the slopes, and get some type of a planting that can take over. They don't have to be trees, but the thing is they can be, shrubs or low growth planting.
Okay.
And one other thing is, I just noticed when you come out of the walkout basement, you have a couple new contours there. Are you totally wiping that out in that area?
So our basement floor is at 193, and you can see my 192 contour kind of comes in right at the corner of the house here.
Right.
And goes around and picks up back over here. So we're going to be slightly filling in this area, but it's trying to match that existing grade as much as we can.
Okay, but right behind you, see those two lines there that butt up against the limit of clearing?
Yeah, down here.
Does that mean that you're going to be, wiping all that area out and to make a yard?
Yes, yeah, so we're going to be working within that limit of clearing, trying to basically flatten that area out in order to give them a yard.
Now we're going beyond maximum.
I mean, that could be discussed in the write-up, but
how many square
I
feet
think-
roughly will the yard encompass?
I don't have the number right in front of me, but I can get it for you guys if you just give me a second.
I think
Well, over half the lot, good 60% is going to be wiped. You have to get this in, get this in, this house and this, and then you add that. Met to the maximum extent feasible. Maximum extent of the yards around the house should be limited to the area necessary for construction.
I mean, a lot of that.
This
that-
is not
the
really necessary for
Topography
construction.
of the site,
Is very hilly.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
a lot
is.
of that grading is necessary for that, for the house and the septic.
Well, that's understandable there, but this, I mean, they're gonna have an open yard in here, and then you got this fill, and then you're wiping this area out here. Again, we're going back to the maximum extent of yards around the house should be limited to the area necessary for construction. Yeah, that,
I guess to be reasonable, you need some type of a yard. I mean,
gonna have it all up in here.
So I don't have the exact dimensions of the lot down, or of the yard down here, but in the notice of intent, we're proposing approximately 7,700 square feet of grading. But that's throughout this whole site, which is extensively, I'm sorry, my computer just died. But it's extensively graded out here. It's essentially on a hillside, sloping down into this hole. So I have to catch that grade at the driveway. I need to maintain that grade up at the septic system, and then I'm tying into those existing topos, trying to come down to that backyard, basically.
So it's got limit the clearing all the way out in here. That's not associated with construction of the house.
Hmm.
And then you got all this clearing in here. That could be left alone and natural.
Very
I think that could be discussed in that, in the exploration, in the analysis of the site is, if it's needed, but I think it can be explored if it can be shrunk for sure.
Being too nice.
You guys make decisions, huh? I mean, we're not, I don't think you're voting on this layout today, without the analysis.
Well, he's got, yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to come back anyways.
Right,
Yeah.
so. I mean, I think can this be used as a yard up top? I mean, with septic, is that even? I don't know. I think,
We'll do another site walk.
yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea.
So, since we're getting into so many restrictions and all, I think another site walk to reevaluate the lot.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with that. Would you guys like anything laid out for it? I can do the house, the limit of work, or,
Right, last time we
It
were
was just
there,
kind
there
of
was no
bare. Yeah,
stakes
we-
either, yeah.
what would you guys like to see out there?
But
I think the house and the current limit of clearing would be good to have staked out.
Okay.
To get a sense of scale too.
Okay. I can coordinate with Craig. I just gotta check the surveyor schedule
Okay.
to get them out there, but, I'd like to do it in a timely manner.
All right.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Anything else?
Can you also determine the area limit of, the square footage of the area that's being cleared?
That's, square footage.
Square footage.
For the entire site, or?
Yeah, you got in here redlined the limit of clearing.
Yeah,
So what is the square footage of the limit of clearing
Okay.
versus the total lot?
Is that the same as the 7,700 square feet? Is that what-
no, it'll probably be more, because I just did it based off, the 100-foot buffer zone.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay. So we continue this till our next meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the applicant's request for a continuance.
Is there a second?
We're
Second.
continuing it to August 10th.
To August 10th.
Okay. There's been a second. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next thing we have is 23 Perry Drive. Request for a certificate of compliance for 157286,
So-
going back a couple of years.
So this, there was a certificate of compliance, but it was discovered that this went to land court, so it needs a certificate of compliance for the land court document numbers, which is the lawyer provided me with them, so I didn't have to figure it out. I don't know
Okay.
much about certified land. I don't quite understand it. I just said, write it down and we'll sign it.
Okay.
They're strict. They're really
Very
strict. Yeah.
Now, what year was that originally, Diana?
So this original goes back to 1997, and the original certificate of compliance was in the early 2000s.
Okay.
It was number two, was like 243 or something.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 23 Perry Drive for Land Court. So that it provides the proper Land Court information.
Yes.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you. Do we have any other tidbits?
Just one quick thing is that this week on Thursday, I'll be meeting with the State Department of Agriculture to renew the 10-year Hersey farm lease. So we'll be walking the site, making sure that there's been no disallowed, unapproved uses of the site, and just looking to renew it. I don't have any alternative plans for another 10-year lease, so I'm planning on just looking to renew what we already have
Yeah,
at this point, so.
sounds good.
And we got this, the lot, no, his daughter mowing that area this year.
His daughter's doing it now?
I think so. I mean, she's been out in the tractor,
Oh, okay.
haying, so. But they already did a first cut. So the weather keeps up, she might be able to get a second cut.
Second cut. Good.
And I just sent out, we have to renew the MACC, so I need to know who needs the online handbook, because that's a separate charge. So far I got Katie and Craig. Anybody else want it?
Nope.
No.
No. All
Okay.
set.
And Tanya did say she didn't want it, so
Okay,
let's be the two.
all right. Anything else? Do I hear a motion?
Okay. Motion to close the meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Good night, Mr. Beck.
you.